Good morning and welcome everyone to this rather sunny and bright and warm morning. It's going to be a very hot one today. But before all that happens, I'm delighted to welcome Annabelle along today to chat with me on Biz'ee Chat. Annabelle is an image consultant and personal stylist based in Longfield in Kent. But she has clients in all surrounding areas, so Gravesend, etc. So if anyone's in Kent, please do give us a wave. If you can give StreamYard permission before commenting, then we'll be able to see throughout the chat show your name and I'll be able to ask Annabelle any questions you may have. If you are watching on replay, please do pop in the comments #replay, and Annabelle will obviously still answer any questions you have following the chat then. So, hello and welcome, Annabelle. How are you today?
I'm okay. How are you, Sharon?
Good, thank you. So, Annabelle, you're an image consultant and personal stylist, and I believe under the House of Colour.
That's correct.
When did you start your business?
I started my business 3 years ago now, but I was actually a client of House of Colour. I've been a client for House of Colour for 8 years now. So I found it for my birthday, I wanted to do something special for myself and spend a bit of time and money on me. And I heard I'd actually known about House of Colour through my mum. This was years and years and years ago. And so it kind of popped up as, a good thing to do for my birthday. And I was so impressed and, with everything, the way, the company did the consultations, etc. And when the opportunity arose for me to actually buy the business, I jumped at it.
So what made you actually choose it? It was just because you had the experience
to become a consultant?
Yes,
well, yeah. When I had my colours and style done, it changed. I was a lot more confident. I felt empowered, which is what we're doing. It coincided with a time where I was dealing with some educational issues for my daughter who's got special needs. So I had to go to court and, to mitigation, to LEA and all that lot. So, you kind of feel empowered. I was my daughter's advocate. So as I said, the self-confidence, the self-esteem that I got just made me want to, I got my sisters involved and my husband, he has his colours done, my children. And I kept getting, I'm like, hang on a second, I'm getting all these people to do it, to see the magnificent effects that it's had. This is something I'm so passionate about that, that, as I said, when the opportunity arose for me to actually buy the business and train, I was like, this is what I want to do. And it's been an amazing journey ever since I made that decision.
So there's quite a few stylists. Obviously, you're part of a bigger franchise. And I know there's some other companies, I think, which do personal styling and stuff like that. But what makes you different from the others?
I think for me personally, I have, as with always, we're all mums, we're all busy working parents. So I've got that connection. I know what it was like when I had my colours done as to why I went there, because I was feeling really, really low. And I think, as we all know, with mums, we get, everybody gets above us, the cat, the dog, the goldfish, the pet, the kids, the food, the work, and you are just down there and everyone else is up there. And you just want something to say, do you know what, I matter, I'm important too. And then you start to get a bit more visible. And I think, as I said, for me, I can relate to that because I've had that experience. I've worked in the city before as well. And it's only now I can see why colour and style was so important. When I was 20, I didn't think about it then, but now, in my 40s, I realise why it's so important. And, it's not, we don't just do colour and style and you're like, off you go, see you later, bye-bye, have fun. It's, do you have any problems? Do you want to come back? Do you, we're always there every step of the way. We're there to help, to guide you. I've got a client who's, lost a lot of weight and she goes, I'm struggling at the moment. I said, that's fine. When you're, when you're happy with the weight that you're at, come back to me and, we'll chat again. We'll go for a shopping trip if we need to, So it's always not hand holding as such, but just be there as a guide.
So if someone was to book an appointment with you, what would be the process that you'd take them through? I mean, obviously you said it depends on people's situation and why they've come to you, but generally, what would the process be?
Once they decided they want to come for color and style, they would come to me, obviously, and what we do is use different colored drapes that would determine what season you fall into. Now, when I mean my season is obviously autumn, winter, spring, or summer, and color is, your skin is a color as well. And what we do is find colors that actually complement you. So for example, I wouldn't wear brown, because if I wear brown, I basically fade into the background. If I wear something like olive green, I take on like Shrek, you know, I had that green tinge to my skin. When they were checking up against like yellow and mustard, the woman, you know, the lady actually went, "Ooh, you look as though you've got jaundice," you know, and that's what he said. So the wrong colors are really, really bad, but in the right colors for me. So I'm a winter. So things like, you know, the burgundy, the navy, the emerald, you know, they make my face look a lot brighter, a lot clearer. You know, I don't look as though I'm my age, I hope, you know. So, you know, you find it's, and then you said you are in focus. You know, sometimes when you're in a meeting or you've gone to a conference and you're watching people on stage, you either tune off, you know, tune out, I should say, because, you know, there's nothing compelling them to watch, you know, or there'll be something that they're wearing, you're like, there's something off about that. And you're just concentrating on the color of what they're wearing, sort of what they're saying. And the idea is that when you're speaking to somebody, you're actually listening to what they're saying and you're concentrating on them. And being in the right colors, in the right style, you know, you don't have to worry about that. You're just thinking, right, this person is now, you know, concentrating on what I'm saying. So it's a fascinating process, and I really urge everyone to get it done once in their lifetime at least.
And I assume, obviously, because our bodies all change all the time, would we change seasons as we get older, or
no. So your season will stay with you. So I recently went to get re-rated because I've gone grey now. So I'm still a winter, but what has happened is that some of my wow colors, so some of the colors have changed. So where black used to be like, I would wear that just at say just a top or a pair of trousers, I can now wear it as a dress. Something like charcoal as well, you know, so colors will change, but it still be within the season. And as for your body changing, this is to do with style. We are dressing not only the body shape, but also your personality. So I know it's not very clear, but for me, I do like a little bit of sparkle. So I have a little bit of sparkle in my earrings, I have a little bit of sparkle in my bracelets. So I'm kind of, you know, keeping it in tune with my personality as well. So I'm a little magpie. I see sparkles and I see shine. I'm like, yay, that's what I want. You know,
aren't we all?
Some people will be absolutely horrified by that, and they're more natural, and they're like, you know, they're like the felt things or the woods, you know, and that's what they like. So they'll have wooden bracelets or necklaces and things like that. So as I said, it's about dressing your personality and making sure that you are, you know, being true to yourself.
Lovely. So what do you like best about your work?
Meeting new people. Always meeting new people. I think that's part of the reason I got into it, because, you know, I used to work from home. My husband, help him out with his business, and I'm in the office and I'm like, accounts is so not my thing. I need to go out and meet people, and that's what I do with obviously my clients, with networking, and obviously with lockdown, I've been able to actually meet not just people from my local area, but from around, you know, like London. And I've spoken to a few people in America. I've spoken to a couple of people in Australia, you know. So that's been one of the positives of lockdown, is actually connecting with people from all over the world.
So what would you say you least like about your work? I'm assuming it's all the accounts and stuff now.
Well, funnily enough, thank God I only have to do it once a year. Yeah, it's the account side of things. It's not, you know, I will do it. And when I, you know, fortunately, I do have an accountant, but it's all the bookkeeping side of things. It's remembering my receipts, you know, it's having to remember, right, okay, this is for business, put that aside, and then, you know, tally it all up and go, here you go, Lynn, take it away from me and do what you have to do. So, and just let me know how much I need to pay.
I think that's the one thing with us business owners. We go into whatever trade we're in because we've got a passion for it, but then all the other bits we'd rather just outsource or just not do. So
Exactly. It's always the admin side of things, you know, the paperwork. And I'm looking at my desk at the moment and I'm just like, okay, I need to file those papers soon before I forget where I put them. So yes, that'll be my task for today.
So what would you say has been your biggest challenge in the 3 years that you've been running your business?
I actually felt quite seriously ill about a month after I qualified. So I had a spinal infection, which put me out for 4 months. And so that, I think, was my biggest challenge, was literally as qualified, I think I did about 2 or 3 clients, fell ill, and then I couldn't work for 4 months. And it was just having to build myself up again, you know. So from September onwards, it's, you know, starting the networking and the clients and everything. So that was the biggest challenge. And from that, I've just learned, you know, when I am run down, when I'm a little bit tired, you know what, my body's telling me just to slow down. So listen to it, you know, take the half day that you need to recharge, because you'll be better off, you know, for the next week, rather than just, you know, struggling along. So I would urge anybody, you know, if they feel they need that break, you know, listen to your body. It's telling you to take a break for a reason.
So what has been your biggest achievement in your business?
I think it's inspiring my children, because my girls did say to me, she goes, my oldest did say to me, she goes, Mum, it's so nice to see that, you know, even after, you know, obviously, because I used to work in a bank and then I was working with my husband, that age, I think 45, whatever it was, that, you know, you've started your own business, and, you know, it just shows you that I can do it. I don't need to go down, you know, the traditional route of going working in wherever. And, you know, it's inspiring. And I think that's what it is. It's inspiring the next generation. I think that, you know, you can, whatever age you are, you can just go out there if you've got a passion for something, to actually just go out there and do it and get on with it. I mean, my mum is my biggest inspiration. You know, she was aged 40. Had 5 children, was doing her law degree, found herself pregnant with my youngest sister in her 3rd year, you know, but she still carried on. She's persevered, you know. She became a lawyer. She works out in the Seychelles. She then became, you know, the first female presidential candidate. You know, she went for president, you know, and I'm like, damn it, if my mum can do it, you know, anybody can. You know, I'm, you know, she's, as I said, she's my inspiration, and I'm hoping that I'm an inspiration for my children as well.
So what would you say is an average day like in your business? Is there an average day?
No, there isn't. I'll give you an average week. So I tend to do color clients, say, on a Monday and then on a Friday. So obviously they'll come, I'll show them around the studio, because I've got a self-contained studio in the front of my house, which, you know, it's got its own ensuite and everything. So, you know, take them there. It can, you know, session can last about an hour and a half, or, you know, 2 hours, depending on how tricky my clients are. And I said, we'll take them to the process and everything. And then afterwards, you know, just a couple of follow-up emails. And I said, do that on a Friday as well, normally. And then in between, I'll have a style client as well. So the style is a little bit longer. It's about 4 hours, and we get into, you know, the nitty gritty of your lifestyle, of your, you know, your body shape, your personality, etc. And then in between those days, it's just, you know, a lot of social media planning. It's a lot of, you know, putting posts out there. It's all the admin, you know, it's the behind the scenes that I'm sure you're very well aware of, Sharon, isn't it? You know, yeah. It's the posting, it's the, you know, thinking of the content, it's all that's, you know, then takes up the rest of the day. But my highlight is always meeting my clients and, you know, seeing their faces just transform and realizing, you know, I do look good in these colors. I do, you know, and that for me is always a bonus.
So where would you say most of your business comes from? Is it networking? Is it, how does it, where do you...
Networking is about 50%, I would say. And then a lot of referrals now as well. So about 30% would be referrals. And then 20% would be, I say, you know, people seeing my posts online. You know, I've had people contact me out of the blue about, you know, they've seen my post or they've seen this, or again, it's, you know, it comes from a mixture, but those are the 3 sources, I would say.
And who
So
would you
social
say
media does work.
what would you say your best customer is? What's your ideal client?
I have a couple, but for me, I kind of have three ideal clients. I have the client who's the mum who's always, time to put herself first, it's always been, or they're reaching a milestone birthday, or, they've had, a health diagnosis or something, and suddenly, it's time to put themselves first. Then I also have, the business person who has come out from corporate, and all of a sudden they're like, I don't have to wear my suits anymore, but I still need to be presentable and still look smart and still look authoritative. What do I wear? How do I dress? So I've got that as well as another client. And then I've also got clients who are actually going up for promotion. So they want to be seen by their managers. They want to go for another interview, and they want to be noticed. I've got a client who is just, wants to be like the next step up, actually wants her boss's job. She can't say that, So she's like, what do I need to do so that when, his manager notices me to say, right, I think it's time you, come for an interview, So as I said, I've got kind of three distinct clients, which is why, I'm on Instagram for certain clients, so my messaging will be different to those who are on Facebook, to those who are on LinkedIn. And that's what I think as business owners we need to realize, is that sometimes we need to tailor our messages slightly differently to make sure that we target our ideal client. It'd be nice to say I've got one ideal client, but it's not true.
So what would be a good referral if there's anyone watching today, or for myself, if I was to refer you on, would it be one of those types of clients?
It would be, as I said, someone who you think, unfortunate, obviously recently with redundancies, a lot of people feel, they're fighting for the same job, it'd be one job and probably about, 20, 30 applicants, So what is going to make them stand out from, the other 19 applicants, So coming, I did have a client recently who did that. She came to me and we did it all over Zoom. I helped her with, what to wear for her interviews, how to, not coaching for questions, because that is absolutely not my forte at all, but it's about how to present themselves, what they need to do. For example, I'm just going to show you very, very quickly an example of what I mean. So I'm going to take my headphones off just because it's a little easier. I take my scarf off, take my necklace off, my glasses, my jewelry, and, it's just a normal shirt that there's nothing standing out from, but just by literally just wearing that scarf, I've added a bit of interest and a bit of color to my outfit, that if you are actually doing an online interview or even in person, someone's going to remember you and go, oh yeah, she was the one that had the red scarf, or she's the one that had the, the purple tights or something like that, That's the way I try to remember people when I go into meetings and stuff, so I'm just saying, that's the way I would do things. So, it always like, so I'm just kind of redressing myself. I feel a little bit weird without my earrings, and there you go. I'm me again now.
And what an improvement. So what would you say, you've mentioned obviously you do a lot of social media, so Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Is there any other forms of marketing that you do? You've mentioned networking. Is there anything else?
I think that's enough, don't you, Sharon?
Yeah, probably. What do you say works best for you online in social media then? Do you think everything works, or do certain platforms work better for you?
I think the thing is, because I've had business from all three, for me, all three work, but you've just got to work at it and continue at it, to be honest with you. And as I said, where you've got your different messaging as well, it's about tailoring your message to those different areas or to those different clients and getting it. And it's about, being consistent as well and making sure. And to be honest with you, I've had quite a few collaborations from LinkedIn and also Facebook as well. Instagram, I get people trying to do, collaborate with me, but it's some dodgy, brand that I've never heard of. And I'm like, okay, no, I don't think so. So I leave those well alone.
Yeah, thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah.
So you've been going for 3 years now. So how do you plan to grow your business?
I'm going to take over the world. No. Everybody in Kent is going to be coloured and styled by me. No, I think it's, just being consistent, putting the same, not the same message, but the consistent message out there about, the benefits of colour, the benefits of style, what it does, as I said, for your confidence, for your self-esteem, for, for work, for business, as I said, my girls had their colours done when they were 11, which for me as a parent was a godsend, because it meant I was able to then buy clothes that actually suited them, and I didn't have to spend hours in the shops. I could go in there and go, right, okay, there's nothing in here for my daughter in her colours, and just leave, because time is precious for everybody.
Yeah.
An example is, getting ready in the morning can take you 5 minutes opposed to 20 minutes, because right, this will go with this, because everything in your wardrobe goes together. And we're busy parents, we have not got time to spend 3 hours contouring and highlighting. I know I haven't, so for me, makeup takes about 4 or 5 minutes very, very quickly, and getting dressed, and sometimes I'm thinking I'd rather have that extra 10 minutes of sleep as well. I need it.
So you mentioned about people contacting you to collaborate with. So what sort of businesses would you consider collaborating with?
I have collaborated with some coaches, so people who are doing business coaching. So they would have got clients who kind of need an extra little bit of help with their image, especially if they've come out of corporate, and they just need that little bit of finesse. I've done a couple of collaborations with HR companies, again, talking about the redundancy roles, where I can just help them with, getting their image or their colors or, style done. And I'm actually, hoping to work with a couple of people who do professional speaking as well, because I think their main job is the main stage. And those doing TED Talks, those doing inspirational speeches, if they're out there looking impressive, looking the business, people will remember them, and not just because of what they were wearing, but because of what they were saying, because they're actually taking the time to listen and not being distracted by what they're wearing. So if you've got any speakers out there, any coaches, send them my way.
I've definitely got a few which I can pass your way, so yeah, I will be doing that. So if you could give one piece of advice to anyone starting a business, either similar to yours or just business in general, as perhaps a mum, what would you say to them?
Do your research, because it will take a lot more time than you think it will. But the idea and obviously the benefits of owning your own business is that you can, get that work-life balance that you need. And it's about just, learning, if you have got younger kids. I'm fortunate my children are a little bit older, but if you have got younger kids and that from 3 o'clock onwards, from 3 till 7, you cannot work because they're going to be at home, they're going to demand your time, then don't plan any meetings during that time or plan to do any work, but by the same time, if you know that you work best in the morning, get all your business, all your work done in that, that early morning session when you are at your most alert and everything. So, it's about planning and research as always, and enjoying it. That's why you're doing, taking time to do your own business, is for a reason, and, make the most of it.
So if there was one thing you'd like viewers to take away today and remember you for, what would it be?
Be yourself. Find who you are, be yourself, and be fabulous at it. There is only one you. You can only be the best you, I think.
Definitely. And if they come to you for a consultation, they'll also feel uplifted in...
I will lift them up. I will, say, this is you, take what I can give you and just be yourself, be who you are, and just be inspired to go and, live your best life. I think that's the only thing we can do, isn't it?
It is, definitely. So is there anything else you want to share with our viewers today?
Just if you have got a personal stylist or an image consultant near you, we are all over the UK. We're all over the world as well now, and even if you don't think it'll benefit you now, there is, it'll save you time, save you money, which we're all desperately in need of saving. And just, it's a wonderful, wonderful process. It's a wonderful, experience as well. And, if you can, do it.
Definitely. Thank you very much, Annabelle. So
you are so welcome.
Screen now, Annabelle's contact details. Probably the best way of contacting her, they're all on the screen, but her Facebook page is HOC for House of Colour, Longfield, and also her website address is also on the screen. Please do give a message to Annabelle, and she'll be able to tell you more information about the packages she does, and also walk you through the process. And even if you just want to chat to see if it's something that you particularly should go for, then please do contact Annabelle for further information. We do have further Biz'ee chats and business support. So if you'd like to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more Biz'ee chats, please do that if you're on YouTube now, or just look for Biz'ee Women Networking on YouTube and we will pop up. So thank you very much, Annabelle, for coming and joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it.
I did, thank you.
I will definitely pass over some contacts which I've got of business coaches and life coaches, which might be a good collaboration for you. So I'll do that obviously after the chat. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. And remember, if you are listening on replay, please type in #replay and any questions you may have for Annabelle. Thank you and have a great day.
See you.